Welcome back to the podcast, guys. My name is Andrew. I got Brandon here with me, like
Yo,
always.
yo, yo.
Thank you for checking out our views on the sidelines. We got a big show for you guys today. The one and only Mr. Joey Matas to help me out today. Jumping on for me.
Glad to be here.
The car is going nuts for Joey.
I'm just here so I'm not fined. That's all.
I don't even get paid. How the fuck are we getting fined? Oh man, but it's gonna be a little different show. Instead of going through what's going on, we're kind of take a trip down memory lane with Joey, and
This will be fun.
yeah, talk about his baseball history, baseball past. We'll jump into some MLB stuff later, and then
Okay.
we do have a question, a Q&A question from earlier, but we'll talk about that at the end. But let's just jump right in, buddy.
All right, buddy, old pal. What you got for me?
All right, man. So, truly, when did baseball start for you? Like, when did you really, like, when was it introduced to you, or how did
Oh,
you
boy.
find it, or
So,
and that jump in for you? Like,
yeah, so baseball was introduced to me very early on. Like, literally straight out of the womb. Like, when I was a baby, bro. Like, no lie. One of my first toys was actually like a little baseball bat with a T.
Mine was a scanner, so I relate.
FedEx life or no
Yeah,
life?
big facts. I understand this.
What a guy.
But, yeah, but I mean, baseball was introduced to me very, very early. My family was a really, big baseball family.
Mhm.
My great grandparents and my grandparents and like my uncles and aunts, they actually worked at Dodger Stadium.
Oh, that's
And
dope.
they
Free hot
like
dogs.
my great grandparents were one of the first to actually work at Dodger Stadium when they came over to LA.
Okay.
So like I said, like my influence on baseball was like from the get go.
Okay.
So when I let me see, like when I first officially started playing baseball, it was T-ball. So I was around like 3 or 4 at that time, and that's when I like really started playing.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can look at, old baby pictures of me and stuff. Like it was introduced to me like from the get go.
Right away.
Yeah,
It
just
was already that height, too.
Did you
Yeah.
have baseball before your knees, or like how did that work?
I had definitely baseball before the knees.
Okay.
I
Makes sense.
I had baseball before the height,
Baseball
which I still don't have.
So I know that you were a pitcher, obviously in high school and in college and stuff, and we'll talk about your college in a little bit. But was that your first position you wanted to play, or that just kind of
Absolutely not.
happened?
Absolutely not. It just happened. I was actually when I was playing, I played a lot of first base because I'm left-handed.
Okay,
So it's like one of the very few positions a left-hander can actually play.
just first.
Yeah, it's first base.
Is there like a reason why? Like, is there like a
I
technicality?
think the angle to throw, right?
Because yeah, it has to do with the angles of throwing
Okay.
because a lot of right-handers play every other position.
Yeah.
Left-handers aren't the best fit for like third base or short or even second,
Okay.
which is why you don't see them there. And catcher, even catcher, like it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So I played a lot of first, a lot of outfield, and then pitching wasn't necessarily the first thing that I wanted to do. It's just over time it came one of those things I got better at, and that's kind of just what kind of helped me get into college and get into that like that level of play.
Okay.
But my first choice was always, to be honest, I didn't really care what position I played. I just loved to hit. Hitting was
Okay.
my thing. And then also
Okay.
I'm left-handed with hitting. So that was always my go-to. Like
Hitting boxes and hitting bases. It's all together.
hitting baseballs, now I hit chewy boxes.
Oh man. So obviously, baseball kind of the only sport. I mean, was baseball the only sport for you, or did you even try to like venture out into different sports?
Yeah, eventually I started playing football. I didn't that was the only other sport that I played that was like official, I guess, or like league.
Okay.
But I mean, like, I would play, soccer and basketball and, like, volleyball, I guess,
What a guy.
for fun, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I would play it, you know what I mean? Like, just to do it. And I thought, like, I enjoyed it, but it was never anything that, like, I would sign up for.
Okay.
It was always baseball. And then when I got to I think, sixth grade.
Mm.
Yeah, sixth grade, it was the first year I played football. And then from there, I played until my freshman year of high school. And then I had a little injury with football, and I said, fuck that. Baseball is going to, carry it's going to carry me further, so I just stopped playing football.
I feel it. I wish you would have played in high school with that.
Oh, I mean, looking back at it now, I wish I kept playing football.
Oh,
I
I
would-
would have got you right. Buddy boy. Oh, man. So, do you remember your first time actually being on the field? Like, do you actually remember that moment? Like, and what was going through your head? Or what happened? Like, let me know.
So my very first practice, dude, this it will never leave my memory. My mom actually brings it up a lot. My very first practice, baseball practice, it was for T-ball, and this was at what's the park? The Boys and Girls Club? What park is that? You know what I'm talking about?
Is it? No, it's not. The YMCA?
Yeah, by the YMCA, that park right there.
Oh,
I forgot the name of the park, but
Is it the Monrovia? It's Monrovia something park. Something Monrovia in it.
something.
Monrovia's in it.
But Drew knows what I'm talking about. But
I
that
know.
park,
That's in
I
the
can't
hood.
believe I forgot the name.
There's a skate park right there.
Yeah,
You know it.
but that was where my first practice was, and it was t-ball practice, and one of the drills we were doing was catching pop flies. So the coach was just throwing, the baseball in the air, and we're just catching it, right? So the very first toss that he gives, he sends out to me, smashed it right in the face. I remember it, bro. I put my glove up, smacked it in the face. And, no lie, it hurt. And I kind of, I cried for a little bit and, rubbed it off and everything. And it's funny because when my mom brings it up, she's like, oh, shit, he's never going to want to play again. That's it. He's never going to want to do anything again. But, I mean, I rubbed it off. You know what I mean? I took the hit. It is what it is. And then, from there, the rest is kind of history. That was the first practice. That's my first memory of baseball, official. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
So it's kind of funny how I get smacked in the face, and now here I am.
What a
That
guy.
happened to me. In
Still no
baseball.
height.
You still get smacked in the face.
I do. You get smacked in the face for fun.
But that's different. That's a hobby. That's like a
That's a hobby.
yeah.
It's not this podcast, buddy. Not this podcast.
Wrong podcast.
Oh man. All right, man. I mean, do you remember your first home run?
My first home run.
Your first home run? I don't know when it came, in
Yeah,
little league,
that's
high school, college.
that's actually a wild story too, because so my first home run was actually an inside the park home run. So that's
Okay.
where it doesn't go out. It's in the park, still you run the bases, all the way to home. And this was when I was 9 or 10. Yeah, somewhere around there. And this is when I was playing travel ball. So this is outside of Little League. This is its own thing. But yeah, to this point, I haven't hit a real home run. And yeah, it's kind of funny. That's just an inside the park home run. But before this home run happened, so there was a parent from another team, and she was obviously drunk. Okay, let me throw that out there real quick. She was obviously
What a
drunk.
guy.
What a
But
gal.
she was
Being
trying
drunk
to
at Sunday games.
but she was trying to encourage.
David Jesus. Jesus is baseball.
She was trying to encourage our team or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what she was drunk. All right, I don't know. But somehow she made her way to me. All right, and she was telling me oh, you're gonna play so good this next game. You're gonna hit a home run and do all this extra shit. And I'm sitting there I'm fucking 9 or 10. I'm oh, okay, yeah. But as she's saying this, she's literally holding my arms and rubbing me. Okay, so weird. I know.
Man,
And-
about to get seduced by his milk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, at this point, when this is happening, my mom is right next to me about to whoop this, this lady's ass, telling her to back off and everything. But then, going to the game, that next game, I hit the inside the park home run.
What a guy.
So that's how my first home run happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was just the weirdest thing, but it happened. She was right, which is really fucking weird.
I know, for real. She kind of just blessed you that day.
Yeah, it's with her drunking.
The Jesus wine.
The Jesus.
Oh god. So when did it fully become you just being a pitcher at that moment? Because I know probably in Little League you probably jump around in positions. They kind of throw you up.
Yeah, Little League. So you jump around.
Yeah, like I remember doing that, like jumping around positions, trying to figure out what you like. But
So
when
what-
it fully was yours?
Like being a pitcher.
Yeah.
So my focus around pitching actually came in high school. That's when, like, even in high school, like, I wasn't just a pitcher, but that's where it kind of clicked for me. Like, all right, I'm pretty talented in this area, so I put more focus into it and kind of just put more into that craft. You know, making sure like I develop my pitches. I like. My form was good, you know, stuff like that. So I could make it to that next level because in college I was mostly a pitcher.
Okay.
I didn't see the field as much. I didn't hit as much. It just didn't work out that way. So I was mostly a pitcher.
Yeah.
So, like I said, taking the step in high school to kind of understand, like, hey, like this is where I'm, you know, most likely going to be.
Right.
Like that's kind of like where it started. So, and then obviously it translated because then I got a scholarship for college,
Right.
and that's, you know, that was kind of my main role. Like when I got to college, I became, you know, that left-handed pitcher. So
Nice.
Was there like a model or like a certain player that you kind of modeled your game after?
Maybe not first or last.
there was,
Ricky Bobby.
there's Ricky
Randy.
Bobby. There's growing up. So Fernando Valenzuela was one.
Okay.
Sandy Koufax, if you know, these are all Dodger players,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and
Shaun White.
and Clayton Kershaw. Those are the three main ones. I mean, I know they're Dodgers, but I mean, it's kind of hard not to, you know, venture out since I'm a Dodger fan.
Yeah.
But those were the three main
They're
pitchers.
not terrible pitchers either.
Yeah, and they're all left-handed pitchers too.
Yeah.
So like that was yeah, that's kind of like what I modeled myself after.
Mhm.
And even if I don't know if I have any like old film, but my pitching motion is if you kind of take like Fernando Valenzuela and Kershaw and they had a baby, like it's me.
Okay, all right. There's no height there, so they
I'm not talking about the height, Dick. I'm talking about the pitching motion.
yeah, because they're both kind of tall, so you know.
Yeah, I wasn't blessed with that. Leave me alone.
They both got some height. What a guy.
The point is, it's the principle. Okay.
The principle, the pitching motion. Oh god. So let's start getting into your college career a little bit, right? I think you go to Bakersfield first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how's that like? So what was your first game like, or first practice even? Like, how was that experience like for you when you first got there?
It's a completely different environment, different just a different spectrum, dude. Like it becomes more real. Like this is the real thing as opposed to like high school or like levels below that where it's like, you know, I'm doing this for fun. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy this a lot. Then when you get into college, like yeah, you still want to have that same mentality. Like, you know, I want to keep it fun. I enjoy this, but there's more
Like a
if you
business sense of it?
yeah, like there's more that you have to understand, like what your role is,
Mhm.
what you know, what job or like what task needs to be done at a specific time. Like say like, you know, I'm in a situation where like runners are on base or, you know, like a hot hitter, someone who's really hot, like hitting is up. I have to understand more. And this comes with, like scouting, like the scouting report. The coaches
You gotta know like
yeah,
the nuances of the
yeah,
game
yeah.
and stuff
The
like
coaches
that,
will
right?
go over that with you. You know, you do your own research.
Right.
But like it turns into more of that. Like you have to really understand what it is that you need to do at this specific time. Because if you don't,
Right.
you're gonna like either you're gonna fail and get yanked, you know what I mean, or you're gonna succeed because you're able to control the situation and understand what it is you need to do.
Like you put the work in, put the
Yeah,
time in. To,
like this is where it really shows. Like, did you really put the work in?
uh,
Because if you didn't, it's gonna show. It's whatever you put in, you're gonna get out. So like I said, it becomes more real when you get to that higher level.
Right.
Like it's not so much like, oh, I'm good. I can just do whatever the fuck, and I'm gonna get
I'm
out of
sure.
here.
Like in high school, you kind of felt like you kind of do whatever you want. Because
Yeah,
High
exactly.
school was kind of high school.
Yeah, and it's like
Going up against
but-
little Jimmy over here, he's
Jimmy.
striking his ass all the way out. So
it's you you have a better understanding of like, okay, everyone is good at this level. I need to be at my top level in order to succeed.
Bakersfield was D1, no?
Yeah, it was D1.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
like,
especially there, dude. It's like
everybody's good.
Yeah, it's
Everybody's
like-
a star at their school.
Yeah, literally, that's everyone coming to you're
Everybody's
playing with.
that guy.
Yeah, everyone is that dude, and it's like you better step up when your time comes, basically.
Right.
So it's just a different feel.
Like different. Like, what was their first game like when you first?
The first game?
Yeah.
So the first game, was pretty nerve wracking. I mean, I was pretty nervous the first game, and I've never felt that before. Because, like I say, it's just a different feel. But for my first game in college, it was the first time I stepped on the mound, and I felt the butterflies again while playing, because it was like I don't want to say like those thoughts ran in my head where it was like, oh, if I don't do good, like
I'm gonna get yanked out.
yeah, it's not that. It's like, this is my moment to shine, and I need to prove, or like I need to kind of prove myself, but also prove everyone that I belong here, and this is why like the coaches trust me to be in this spot right now.
Why I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I mean, being like when I had that moment where I was like nervous, I took a deep breath and then went into my pitching to my first batter. Once I threw the first pitch, I was good. Like those feelings, that like jitter or like that nervous feeling, was gone. Because then after that, like, okay, you got the first pitch out of the way. Now I'm back to, okay, I know what I'm doing. I've been here before. It's the same game. I just got to, trust myself.
Just elevated a little bit.
Yeah, she's elevated a little bit. Right. And then my first outing, I actually got my first strikeout. So that was really cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was really fucking cool for me. And like when I
2-3 out or
the inning?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Or what do you mean?
Like just that batter at least. Like, was it 1-2-3, like 3 pitches and he's out of there?
No, I battled with him a little bit. I think it actually went to a full count. It went to a full count, so 3 balls, 2 strikes,
right.
And I finished him off with a fastball inside, and he didn't swing, so it was a strikeout looking, which it felt pretty good to get that one off my chest. So it was pretty cool, really cool feeling.
That's good. I know we caught one of your games before at I think at Cal State LA. Yeah, I remember that game. Me and Alex went to one of those games. It was pretty cool. It was pretty dope watching you out there. It was really dope. But so after you get that first game out of the way, right? How was the rest of the year for you, like that? Because I believe you were there for about 2 years.
I was at Bakersfield for 3 years, right. And then I transferred to the other school for a year. Yeah, a year.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna get into that other school in a bit too. But how was the rest of your time there? Like,
the rest of the time, what, at Bakersfield?
Yeah, like the baseball wise and this experience altogether.
It was really cool because like my first year was a little rough because it was my first year. I was adjusting to a lot of things, kind of understanding, this new level of play. It's a new team, you know what I mean? So, but as the season, that season went, and then to the following years, there was a lot of growth for everyone. My third year there, like we actually ended up winning like our conference. So that was really cool to like be a part of that, like being a part of a winning team at that level. And then we went to, from the conference or winning the conference, we went to what is it? The regional for playoffs for college.
Right.
So we went to UCLA's regional.
Right.
So we got to play UCLA, which was the number 1 team in the nation. Right. And we played Ole Miss and Maryland. Those were and us. That was the 4 teams in that regional. And like I said, it was just cool because like the school we went to was a small D1. So we're playing in front of maybe like 1,000 people, maybe, or I don't know, maybe less than that. But then you go to UCLA,
Uh,
you're playing in front of, almost like pro level, like,
like 20,000.
yeah, like there was a lot of in there, and we're on national TV.
Yeah.
So it's like like I said, being able to take my first year and grow to that third year with the team that I was, around,
Mhm.
and getting to that point where in like for our school, that was the first team to make it that far with any sport, like that far in like that level of play, that regional. So it was just cool to kind of like experience that whole thing. Like I said, it goes back to putting in that work, and this is what you're gonna get out of it. Like we didn't win the regional. We ended up losing to UCLA
Yeah.
to get knocked out. We lost them twice.
Okay.
So we lost to UCLA. We played 3 games. We lost to UCLA, beat Ole Miss, and then lost to UCLA again to get knocked out.
Right.
But like I said, being able to put the work in, being that first team to do that and make it that far, like it's an unreal feeling to go through all that. Like it's pretty cool.
Like, do you see the levels difference when you play like like at Ole Miss and UCLA compared to like the schools that you're playing like
Yes.
throughout the regular season? Like you see
Yes.
the whole
It's night and day.
like you
when-
see the
'cause when you-
different levels to this.
Yeah, because so teams compare, like the teams in our conference or whatever regular season compared to like UCLA. UCLA is just more crisp. Like they're just cleaner.
Right.
Obviously everyone's good, but it's like you can tell like
Like almost like pro level.
yeah, like
pro
they're
ready
literally all
level.
pro level. Like there's a reason why they're number 1 in the nation.
Right.
But I mean, we gave them a run. The first game we didn't play so well against them, but the second game we actually put we were actually in the lead for a little bit, and then they ended up coming back and winning. But I mean, like we made sure to like let them know, like, hey, like we're not backing down just because you're UCLA. Like we're still here, and we're gonna try and we're gonna try and beat you.
Right.
So but I mean, you could tell the difference, dude. Going from the teams we played in the regular season to going to that regional, it's like there's a reason. There's obviously a reason why these teams are here.
Right. They're good. Like,
Yeah, it's like there's little room for error. Like if you make one mistake, especially pitching, they're gonna hit it.
Right.
If you don't capitalize on your your opportunities to score, you won't get that back.
Right.
Like that was your time to do something. If you don't do it then,
Right. They'll take advantage of like errors
Exactly.
and stuff like that. So
exactly.
I get what you mean. You got anything to ask?
No,
Homie
you're
Joey?
doing a good job so far.
Yeah.
I didn't even hate it.
I don't know. Like, this is my first interview, so Joey's helping me out.
Hey man, this is my first interviewee.
Getting an interview.
Yeah, getting an interview.
All right, man. So obviously, you're at Bakersfield for about 3 years, right?
Right.
So what decision made you actually go to Stanislaus, correct?
Yeah, Stanislaus, Cal State, Stanislaus.
Yeah. So what really made you go there? Like, what was the deciding factor for that?
So after that last year I was there, the head coach that actually watched me and scouted me and wanted me to go to that school.
Basically recruited you.
Yeah, basically recruited me. He was retiring after that year. So the new coach that was kind of stepping in, just to be honest, I didn't really click with him. He was running a different program, and this is like for a lot of the players. It wasn't just me. It was like just a whole big change.
It's a
and
big deal.
It's a
Like,
big
when you
deal.
get
It was a big
coach
change.
Yeah.
There's a different philosophy that he wanted to go to, and it wasn't working out. So I just thought it was best for me to go somewhere else, try something else to see if I can be happier, because I knew if I continued on like with Bakersfield, I don't think I would have been happy there.
Right.
And like that's really what that was really my decision to go to a different school. Other than that, yeah, I mean that was pretty much it. It was just that.
So why Stanislaus? Like, why'd you end up really choosing that school? I'm pretty sure you had about a couple different schools.
I had a couple different schools. Cal State LA was actually one of them. The reason why I went to Stanislaus is because so I actually knew. So one of the guys I played with there, I actually played with him before.
Okay.
So he was actually kind of talking to the head coach already,
Right.
and kind of like put in a good word for me, and was saying like, hey, like I know him. This is what he does. You guys should look into him, and he kind of like my buddy who was on the team kind of like told me what he was doing and everything, and then the head coach called me one day and was basically like, hey, like we know of you, and we know more of you because the guy that I was playing with, and they basically like they told me like right like on that phone call like we want you to come here, we want you to play, like we'll make sure you play, this is what you're gonna do. Like they basically told me what my role was, like how the program was ran and everything, and that was something that the other schools didn't do. The other schools weren't like right from the go, like, hey, we want you. Like they told me right away, like we want you to come here and we'll get it worked out right this second.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, like I'll do it. Like you want me that bad, like okay, like I'm gonna come then. Like if you're gonna show me that effort, like okay, like let me give that back to you then.
Right.
So that's kind of like what helped. And then another side reason, one of my teammates from Bakersfield actually came with me too.
Oh, okay.
He was going there too, so like it kind of just worked out.
Familiarity already.
Yeah.
There.
So it was like it kind of just worked out. I was like, okay, like, we'll both go there, and it'd be cool. Like we actually ended up living together when we moved to that school.
Uh-huh.
So that worked out. So it's just little things like that too.
Yeah.
But the main reason was that the coach hit me up and was like, yeah, we want you to play.
Okay. So obviously you go to Stanislaus, and I believe remember you telling me it was a D2. It's kind of like a lower division. Like, could you notice the difference like going into like that first practice, first game? You can notice the difference on why it's a D2 level compared to Bakersfield.
Yeah, once again, you can tell the level difference.
Uh-huh.
D1 is completely different from D2. Completely different. Right. Like I said, when you go to D1, it's literally all the best players. Everyone is good. It's cleaner. There's little room for like mistakes or flaws basically. Uh-huh. When you go to D2, it's a little more raw talent, and there's a lot more, I guess, cleaning up to do with as far as like with someone's talent. Like I'm not gonna say that they're not good, because there's a lot of good D2 players, a lot of them. Right. It's just the
truth about it. I mean,
yeah, because like when you go to D1, you, like I said, there's the mentality and the the knowledge of the game is just at a higher level. So you really understand the game. You really understand how everything works. You really understand situations and what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done, basically. Right. So when you go to D2, there's a lot more. Okay, we need to build up to understand that a little bit more. Okay. It's like I said, it's a lot more raw talent as opposed to like clean, like, all right, these guys are going professional. Or they're professional ready. That makes sense.
I get you.
So D2, and like I said, don't get me wrong, D2 is still good, especially in California.
Oh yeah.
D2 is still good. There's guys who go pro out of there. It's just there's that raw talent that kind of takes over, and it just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Uh-huh. But you can tell the difference. Like, you definitely tell, like, all right, like, I see why you didn't go D1 right away. Like, okay, but the talent is still there. Right. But it's just, like I said, you could tell the difference.
Right. There's a lot of players that actually go to like D2s first, and they end up getting like scholarships to go to like D1 schools, right? Like, I know that's a thing. I know that happens in football a lot. Like, you go to like Dixie State or something, something in that ballpark.
Yeah, usually like you will go to like a JC. Okay. They'll clean up there and then go to a D1. Okay. Sometimes, which happens a lot, like in my case, a lot of D1 players will go D1, and then something happens, like in my case, or an injury or something. So they'll do a D1 bounce back, which means like they went to D2 to kind of rehab, get themselves better, play, but they still are known as that D1 player. Basically, they just kind of show out in D2 and kind of prove themselves like again, basically. And that's what I'm saying. Like D2 players do go on to be pros. It's not that they're not good. It's just there's a lot of it just depends on the player basically, like what your background is or like how you got brought up or what's going on with you.
Right.
But like there was one guy who went to Stanislaus after I was done. He was a D1 bounce back. He went to my school and now he's one of the starting pitchers for I think the Twins. The Minnesota Twins, I think. Yeah. I think that's where he's at. Yeah, and he's like I don't know if he's their ace, but he's like their number 2 guy, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like I said, like just
ranks.
because it's D2 doesn't mean you can't make it. Like it's just a lot of it has to do with the player themselves. Like sometimes they're going through something and they have to make that choice to kind of step back a little bit for them to proceed. So
yeah, sometimes you gotta take a step back real quick, fix some things, and then
exactly.
kind of bounce forward. That was actually gonna be my next question. Kind of like you never really focus on trying to go like that, like overseas route, kind of like how Chris did it, or even like the farm leagues or something like that. You never try to like go that route, or was that ever a goal for you?
Yeah, that was a goal for me, but in my case, life happens. Yeah. I ended up having my daughter around that time, so it was a lot of like, hey, do I really want to do this? And really try to make something, make something out of this, or do I need to, life, I got to do something else. Right. And I kind of I went with that. Like there's other things I feel like I need to be doing, since I'm going to have my daughter. So that's why I didn't really proceed with that.
Right.
But that was always, going overseas or doing like independent ball. So like kind of like semi-professional leagues.
Okay.
Like going into that was, definitely in mind. It's just, like I said, I took a different route.
Okay. Understandable. So, I'll ask you 2 more questions, and then we'll jump into, like, what you're doing now.
Okay.
But one of them is, like, your biggest regret while playing. Like, what was one thing that you'd be able to change if you were able to change it, like, right now?
Oh, I would have lifted more. Yeah. I would have took my, like, my weightlifting and, like, that kind of training more serious. Because I mean, growing up and like especially in high school, I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? With like training, like it was always like a athletic coach or a trainer or something, helping me with that. And that was the only time I did stuff like outside of baseball. When it came to baseball, like I would go to practice, show out, do it because that's all I knew really. I didn't know all these outside things would help that basically. Right. So that's one thing I kind of regret. I wish I took the training outside. I took that a little bit more serious and harder. Right. That probably would help me go a little further. That's another thing. I wish God blessed me with more height.
Wish you had your knees.
Yeah, I wish I had my kneecaps. Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably one of my biggest regrets is just taking the outside training a little bit more serious. Okay. I didn't have an understanding, and I was young, and didn't really like.
What, you're 21, 22 years old?
Yeah, like I didn't, I just didn't know. You know what I mean? I didn't know at the time.
Shotgun a beer for practice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know, and then I ended up going to school for that, and I started learning things, and it's like, oh, okay.
Like, this is
what I need to be doing, and like once I started learning things, it helped me in my my college career. But if I took that serious earlier, that would have definitely, it would have aided to what I was doing.
Right. And then one last question, man. What's the one thing you take from baseball as a whole? Like, what was one thing like you kind of take from life? Like for me, like for football, like I always took like the discipline and like how to work with others. I've always taken that with me everywhere. So like, what's that one thing for you, like for baseball?
So one thing I like to take from baseball is, so I feel like when people look at baseball, they see it as a team sport, which it is.
Yeah.
But baseball is, so I think it's special because baseball, yes, there's the team sport aspect, but there's also a lot of the like individual part. And I don't mean like just the individual part. It's more like it's going back to what I said earlier about understanding this is your moment, and regardless of like what that is, like in life or in that sport or whatever, like you have to be able to, whatever it is, be able to overcome, whether it's like being nervous, that fear, or just pride, whatever it is. Like, you have to be able to overcome and capitalize on this moment, not just for yourself, but for the people that are around you.
Right.
So, because it's like, if in that moment, if you succeed, yes, you succeeded for yourself, but not only for yourself, for everyone that's around you. Like, you did it for everyone. So it's like, if I do good, everyone around me does good. Got me? Like, I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like, baseball,
like a game within the game.
yeah. Like in baseball, like I said, it's very unique. Like how you can how you can kind of be put in that situation.
Right.
So that's like one of the biggest things I kind of take out of it.
But that is Joey's baseball career, man. I mean, do you have anything for Joey's baseball?
Nah.
You want to ask him anything?
Baseball, no.
I wish I had kneecaps.
Yeah.
Kneecaps, just kneecaps.
Just kneecaps.
Oh man. No. So since we're on the baseball spectrum, real quick, how we doing on time? Actually.
Yeah, we're already we hit like 40 minutes.
40 minutes. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Just run over the first line of that MLB thing, and then we'll worry about the other ones later. Just top contenders, I think.
Yeah, it's the top contenders in baseball. And dark horse team to win?
Yeah.
I don't know what a
Dark horse team.
Isn't that
Dark
a Katy
horse
Perry
Means
song?
like an underdog.
That's
like an
that's a
underdog
Katy
team.
Perry song.
That is Dark Horse, yes.
Exactly, dark horse.
I love that beat on that song, by the way.
I didn't like that beat.
All
You know
right,
what?
sir.
Anyway, so Mr. Baseball over here, Mr. 3000.
Mr. 3000. This guy.
All right. So obviously, the best team in baseball per se, I guess, is the Yankees.
Yeah. Right now the Yankees for sure.
The Yankees are top right now at 58 and 23. Then you got Houston right behind them with 53 and 27. I know we're not big Houston fans.
No.
They could go.
Trash cans.
Yeah. They belong in trash cans. Obviously, our beloved Dodgers. They're right there in third with 50 and 29. And surprisingly, the Mets are right there at 50 and 31.
Yeah, that's a surprising one this year, the Mets. But they made some key moves, especially with the pitching. Max Scherzer right now, he's really showing out for him. I think that was a huge move. Huge move as far as the pitching. Pitching is huge. If you don't have good pitching, you're not going to make it.
I mean, look at the Angels.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to be very consistent
I'm
through
sorry,
the.
Brandon, I'm sorry.
You're not going to be consistent through the regular season, let alone make it far in the playoffs without quality pitching.
Right.
So picking him up was a really good move on their part. He actually, I think his last game, he threw a shutout with 11 Ks, which is really good. Really good. I think he pitched like 7 or 8 innings, something like that. Like I said, really good numbers. Really good numbers. So I mean, the Mets, and they have like other good players. Especially their offense. Their offense, I mean, that's a key part of why they're, leading their league right now, or their division. Like I said, I think this year they're one of the teams to watch out for.
Think so, the Mets?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Surprisingly, this year, yes, like they're going to be one of the teams to look
But you
out
don't
for.
think that they're one of those teams that are kind of just starting off hot and then
No.
they're going to fizzle out later on?
I don't think so because, like I said, making that move with Max Scherzer, you're adding a veteran pitcher to the pitching staff with DeGrom, and I think they have one other guy, their third guy. They have a veteran starting rotation.
Okay.
So with that, knowledge, that experience, they've been in the playoffs before, so they're going to be able to help that team, push through the playoffs. Saying they make it there, which I think they will.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Dodgers are gonna make it, but I think the Mets will. I think it will actually end up being the Mets and the Dodgers in the championship series, like for the National League.
Yeah.
I think it'll end up being them, and I think the Mets will give the Dodgers a run for the money. But we all know the Dodgers are gonna make it, so that's all I gotta say.
So obviously we know that the Yankees are on top, man. But
Yeah.
I think we were talking a little bit off camera and stuff that you don't think this trend is gonna keep up.
No, because the Yankees, like they get all these good players, right? And they do.
I mean, yeah, they got the
They start
MVP
off
front
hot.
runner.
Yeah, they start off hot the first half of the season, and then when it comes around to right now with the All-Star break, after that they slow down a little bit. They allow whoever is in the East right now to kind of catch up,
Right.
and then they get hot again around the playoffs, which is what they should be doing. But then they end up making it to just the first or second round of the playoffs and getting knocked out. And this isn't me just being like a Yankee hater, because I mean, like, the Yankees are doing good. Like, all respect, they're doing really good this year.
Right.
It's just if they can't push, or if they can't find within themselves to push through the playoffs, they're gonna do the same thing,
Right.
and they're gonna get knocked out the second round or the championship series before the World Series. So I mean, like, who they're gonna have to go against is Houston, which no one likes, but Houston has quality players still, and
Houston's always been a solid team.
yeah,
I mean, regardless, like I don't know if they deserve to be there that year.
No.
Because we would never know. No. But they've always had the solid team. They've always been in one or two, like right there in their division, and then in their league as well. They've always been 1, 2, or 3.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, Houston has the experience. They have the talent. Besides all that, what they went through with all the cheating and everything, they're still they're still a quality team.
Right.
So
Can't believe you're saying that.
they're still a quality team. So like I said, Houston is going to be, I think, the team to beat in the playoffs.
Okay.
And like I said, I think the Yankees can do it. It's just they can't do the same things that they've done the past few seasons. Like, they really got to push for it this year if they want to make it, which right now it's looking that way. But all I'm saying is just don't repeat the same things that you've been doing for the past seasons. Like, come on, like push through that shit. Come on.
I know we got some MVP talk.
MVP.
I know. Aaron Judge is kind of like the front runner.
If Aaron Judge keeps doing what he's doing, he'll win the MVP for sure, because he's on pace to hit, I think, like 64 home runs, 64, 65 home runs right now. That's the pace. Yeah, that's a lot. The league record, I think it's still 72. I think it's still 72. That's the league, like, the most amount of home runs in a season. I think it's 72 still. So he's on pace to hit 64, 65, somewhere around there. And that's really good. If he hits that, he's going to win MVP for sure. But, like I said, the Yankees' history, it might slow down a little. I think Mike Trout is still there's a very high possibility he can, run up there for MVP. And also Shohei, just because he's that dual player where he pitches and plays and he hits. And I think there's a good chance Shohei will actually push more for the MVP again, just because when that dude's hot, he hits nothing but home runs. So he can actually catch up to Aaron Judge with the I don't know if he'll hit 60 home runs, but he'll catch up to him.
Okay.
But then, like I said, with the pitching aspect with him, there's also that that adds on to that MVP. What is it, like the MVP? Like being a candidate to be MVP. Like, there's more. There's just more around him that makes proves himself to be an MVP.
Okay.
So I think, like I said, I think Shohei has a good chance of being MVP again. Mike Trout was always in the run. He's always at least top 3 if he's not number 1.
Right.
But if Aaron Judge, like I said, if Aaron Judge keeps pushing for that home run number, I think he'll definitely win the MVP this year. Right. And then for the NL, I'm not too sure for the NL right now.
For nobody.
No, I don't really have.
Kind of standing out.
Yeah, there's no one that's really standing out for the NL for me. I think if, like, going back to Max Scherzer, if he keeps pitching the way he does for the Mets, I think at least he'll be a top candidate for the Cy Young.
Okay.
But yeah, for as far as like MVPs for the NL, I'm not really sure. no one's really standing out for me. It's more the Aaron Judge talk right now. Like that's the biggest hype right now.
Yeah, that's everywhere right now. Like, we look at baseball right now. Aaron Judge is going nuts. He's hot. I mean, obviously he's hitting like what you said, like 60 something home runs already.
Yeah, that's
he's
on that pace. Yeah.
I mean, 60 something is unheard of. 65, 66.
It's like I would like to say, some of the Dodgers would, be candidates, but a lot of them are just being consistent this year, which is, that's important too to make it, far in the league. But as far as like MVP numbers for them or like being candidates, I don't think anyone from the Dodgers is really going to be outstanding this year. They're, like I said, they're just more consistent this year. And I'm actually more happy with that because they can stay consistent, keep that through the playoffs, they'll win the World Series.
Absolutely. Well, that's our little baseball talk for this year. Not for
This
the
year?
Yeah, honestly, for the year, because football season's coming up pretty soon. So probably for the year.
Yeah, Drew's
That's it.
happy about that.
No, but we're gonna have Joey on a little bit more and talk baseball because he's helped me out with it. But we're actually gonna segue into your path now, kind of like what you're doing now.
Right now?
Right now. So I know you're doing your lifting thing, and you
Yeah,
got your killer kits coming out pretty
Yeah,
soon.
the thing that I wasn't doing in high school.
Yeah, the things that you weren't doing right now. So what really got you into that? What kind of motivated you to get into that ballpark?
So it's like as far as like training.
Yeah, like what really?
Like I said, like in my little baseball career, I didn't really have an understanding of that outside training, and once I kind of got a taste of it or started doing it, I was like, I started to enjoy it more. I developed a passion for it. So that's why I kind of took that direction. And like even with school, like that's what I went to school for kinesiology, which is the study of like human body movements.
Okay.
So that's really what got me into it. And now it's turned into, like not just for myself, it's more like, I want to help others, you know what I mean? Get stronger or faster or, better at their sport, whatever it may be.
Man, I know you helped out Brandon the other day.
Yeah, and I've been working out with Brandon. He's
I'm
sort
about to turn into a fucking beast. I'm telling you right now.
You're so hurted.
I am. I died today. My legs were fucking sore as shit, boy. My chest.
Oh, I'm stretching your chest.
Yeah, we had like those boxes that are like they put rims in a big box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had like 6 of those and I died. As soon as I like would go like this to grab it, instantly just yeah, I had to use a dolly like 3 times today. It was bad.
Never use a dollar.
No, exactly. I hate the dollies, but I was in pain. But I was like, it's working. So
It's a good pain.
yeah,
It's a good thing. But yeah, I mean, really at this point, it's about helping others, especially athletes. I want to work with athletes. I want to be able to help them.
Considered an athlete?
Yeah, technically I'm considered an athlete still.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically. I'm actually working on a sponsored athlete thing right now. I'm waiting on my promo codes and everything, but
Yeah.
wait on it. But
Just gave himself a plug already. Goddamn.
but yeah, like I said, I'd like to work with athletes, kind of help them get to the next level because it's really special to be able to play at those levels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of memories.
And obviously you got the experience for it too. Like you've been
Yeah.
D1, you've been T2.
Yep.
You know.
I've kind of
like
been
that.
there. I can kind of, guide them on, hey, this is what you need to focus on. This is what you need to stay away from. Or, you know what I mean? Like, they can kind of learn from my mistakes. And,
Just shotgun a beer before practice.
yeah, don't shotgun a beer before practice. Don't do that. Especially when it's like 95 outside. Don't do that.
Don't do it. It's the worst mistake of your life.
But, yeah, dude, I mean, even now, dude, I've just grown a passion for training. I know I torture myself, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, like we see you here torturing yourself, and you're just like, why is he doing this right now? Like, this is unnecessary. But, going back to like actually training athletes and stuff, like what is your ultimate goal of like, are you trying to open like your own facility per se and stuff in that nature, or like how would you really want to go that route? Because I know like a couple trainers that, some went to segue of opening their facility and hiring other trainers, and kind of train their methods and teach their methods and stuff like that. Or we have the actual personal trainers, the ones that kind of just go to every kid or go to every athlete and kind of just personalize and stick to themselves type of deal. So which route are you really trying to
What?
follow?
So it's a little bit of both of what you just said. Okay.
Okay.
So what I want to start
Good
with.
guy.
Yeah, he was pretty spot on with what I want to do. So what I want to start with is more the one-on-one.
Mastermind.
Is more the one-on-one, so I can focus on one athlete at a time, and aid to their specific needs. Whether regardless of what sport it is, just really focus on them so they can get better. Eventually, what I'd like to do, and this is when I'm a little older and I can't do a lot of the crazy stuff that I torture myself with now. And
Barely do it now. You seen this man try to get up?
What a guy.
but I would like to, one day open up my own facility, kind of like we said, hire a bunch of, other trainers that, are focused on whether it's one sport or
Multiple sports.
yeah, multiple sports, whatever it is, and have them kind of run that part where I'm able to kind of hold, I don't want to say, it kind of like a seminar, sort of, where you kind of bring in like the whole team or, the individual players within like the training and kind of give them like the knowledge of like, okay, this is what you need to understand to make it to the next level.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Kind of give them more the mentality part of it.
Okay.
So they can get stronger there, not just, their body physically. It's just you got to be mentally tough to push on to the next level. Because if you're not mentally tough, you're going to get ran over. Like I said, things are not going to work out in your favor.
Right.
And you got to be able to handle those situations. So it's like the more stronger you are here, plus, getting stronger with the body or, whatever it is with the training that you need. It's like that's what's going to, really take you to the next level.
Right.
So like I said, like for right now, I want to work with the athletes, learn there a little bit. That's why when I do hire more trainers, I can guide them on what it is that needs to be done. And then from there, I can kind of just run everything and, like I said, take it more to like an educational level to where like, all right, this is what you need to know to make it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I want to go with it.
Right. So let's get into like your actual, like when you're training somebody, right? When you got an athlete with you, what's the first thing you're really, really focused on first? Like, is it form based? Because I know like with us, when you're working out with us, it's really form based. It's not a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But like, I'm assuming like with an athlete, by the time you get to him, he's already kind of molded. Maybe you got to tweak a couple things.
Yeah. So with like an athlete, it's easier to get past that with like the form and, making sure things are correct. But you still want to start there just to, like if I need to, make some tweaks here and there just to perfect their form even more. Right. That's why going, like when they start working with me, it's like perfect it. Then we can really start pushing the numbers or pushing whatever it is that we need to push at a kind of like at a better level, basically. Okay. That's why there's less risk of injury. We're strictly focused on just getting better, and we stay away from that. Like basically, like I mean, the last thing I want to do is get them hurt. You know what I mean? I want them to be strong, healthy, so they can prolong their career, whatever path it is. But I mean, like that's for any trainer, really. I mean, regardless of like your experience, as far as like the person you're training or the client, you always want to start with the fundamentals and basics first. Like I said, regardless of the level, because you want to get that perfected as as close as perfect as possible. That's why there's there's less to worry about moving forward, because then you can really start. As long as you have like the good form and everything, and you really understand what it is you're trying to do with like an exercise or just anything in like that aspect of like training, like as long as you understand what needs to be done and with perfect form, like all you're gonna do is get better. Right. You're gonna get stronger, you're gonna get faster, you're gonna you're perfect your skill, and that's that's the ultimate goal. So you can keep moving forward, but yeah, I mean, like, that's where I would just start. I mean, just with the fundamentals first, and then from there, depending on like the sport or whatever it is, then you start getting into specifics. So like, I don't know, take like a football player, right? Or like, like a linebacker. Like I'm gonna turn that guy into a fucking beast, right? Right. Obviously, but it's like I gotta make sure everything is structurally good, so he doesn't injure himself.
Jesus Christ, Adrian.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, really, that's where you want to start, though.
Yeah, because I remember when I first started really lifting with you, you fixed my squat. Because I remember I was always taught, front, kind of parallel and everything, kind of even. But when I squat, and you probably squat the same way. You kind of
Yeah, I'm working with him still.
yeah, like you angle out your feet a little bit, like at least for me, and I could get deeper on the squat. And I've been lifting kind of higher weight than I never really thought I could. So it's like form's a big deal, and like for you to really focus on that first is actually really good because like a lot of other trainers kind of don't really focus on that part. I mean, they do, but they kind of
what they tend to do is focus more on. So say if I came to you and was like, hey, I want this and that, right? They're more focused on basically like the outcome or like the reward, as opposed to taking a step back and building the foundation to really achieve the reward at a higher level.
Okay.
Because it's like some trainers are more like, if like in today, like it's more like, okay, I want to lose weight, so the trainer's gonna be like, okay, like simple, just do this and that, and they won't really go into detail with everything or go back to like the foundation.
Why you're losing this?
Yeah, like
or
why
how
are
you're losing this?
Yeah, like how and why we're doing it this way, so you can do it for the rest of your life. It's more like, no, I'm gonna give you the answer now, and that's it. Like I'm not gonna show you how to keep doing it. It's like, no, if you want to go back to the foundation, you want to build all the fundamental things, all the form, all the the right way to do things. Right. That's why it's easier to hold on to those, like that aspect, hold on to that. So when you're moving forward, it makes everything else a little easier, and like you're able to hold on to that longer for a longer period. That's why it's like, yeah, you're going to your sport, but when you're done with your sport, you're still strong and healthy even after that. That's why if you see like, I don't know, some of these guys who retire, like some athletes, they're still jacked or like in good shape because they learned the fundamentals. They understand.
Like look at Shannon Sharp. He's he's 54 and that dude's yacked.
Yeah, like that guy's 54, but his body says 35. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That right there. Like that's where you want to really be. It's not just let me give you the answer right now. It's like, no, we need to understand why and how we're doing this. That's why we can keep it, not just do it right away and just lose it. Because that's what tends to happen if you just go straight to the answer.
Right.
So.
Right. And I know you kind of said earlier, you kind of snuck it under your breath a little bit, the whole sponsored athlete.
Oh, the sponsored athlete.
So talk about that a little bit. Like, what direction are you going with that? Or like, what's going on with you like that?
So really, like, I'm going to be a sponsored athlete with a nutrition shop that I'm currently working with. Really, I'm going to be under them as a sponsored athlete, so I'll be kind of promoting them. They'll be promoting me. It kind of works both ways. They have a bunch of supplements that I like taking, so that's always fun. But I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's more of a business move. It's about like networking and exposure for both of us. Like I said, it's more about like promoting like myself. The guy I'm working with. He's been in the military and he's been training for like the past 15 years or something, 10 years. Right. So he's been in the game for a while. So this is more for me. Like I'm going under his wing and
kind of learning the business.
Yeah, I'm learning more of the business aspect, learning more how to network and, get my name out there more. Right. But, I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool that I'm having an opportunity to, be affiliated with someone who, is really going to, like they're taking a chance on me. You know what I mean? Right. And it feels pretty good. Right. So, like I said, it's really more just about like the supplement based, like area of like training. But they really want to help the community. They really want to help the clients that they serve. And that's something that, that's, one of my like values. You know what I mean? I really want to help people. I really want to help people like change their lives, help them be healthier, be stronger, whatever it may be. Right. So it's just being able to connect with someone who has the same kind of goals. Like that's, that's kind of it just ended up working out. It's kind of cool.
That's good, man. I mean, we're all proud of you here at the house, man. I mean, hopefully everything works out right and
Very right there.
Absolutely. I mean, he deserves it. I mean, we seen it. We seen the hustle. We seen the grind every day, man. And I want to say, really happy for you. Really proud of you. And you deserve it.
Gave me free supplements.
That too. That
Yeah,
part
I'm
too.
working on it for supplements for everyone.
Shout out to views for one
I
time.
want like 10 of those things for fat burners.
All right, calm down. Just shout out the view, plug out the views for me, and then we'll be all right. But
Oh yeah, I already brought up the podcast to him, bro.
oh yeah, if he ever wants to join up, bro, he's got a free seat, dude.
Yeah, that's what I said. Networking,
Because
bro.
everything here is always free.
Yeah, getting the name
shut
out,
up
bro.
over there.
Getting the name out.
We got money, okay? Good guy. Anyways, I think we got a Q&A, and I feel like this should be on both our ballparks. Okay. Obviously it covers football, it covers a little bit like stuff going into the body and stuff. So I just kind of want your opinion on this too. So Brandon, read me that Q&A real quick.
What are your thoughts on Jalen Ferguson autopsy showing that he had fentanyl-laced cocaine in his system? And what are your thoughts on drugs? Well, athletes taking drugs.
Well, the hard drugs, stay away from those. But I mean, technically some of these supplements are considered drugs in a sense, but they're not looked at that way. They're called supplements for a reason. They're supposed to supplement the body and aid to you in ways that like your body isn't getting, like either that nutrients or that extra push that you need to kind of succeed, whether it's lifting, your sport, whatever it may be. But if you're going into like these hard drugs, I mean it's only gonna damage your body. And I mean, like in this case, like this this young individual,
he was only 26.
Yeah,
man,
you're younger than us.
Yeah,
Dude,
like he was
you're
only 26.
Dude,
I mean,
he's still
backstory
young,
on him
bro.
real quick. He was a linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens. He was a stud. He wasn't no like big name, but he did his job very well. And it came out of a shock out of nowhere. Season's about to start. He's getting ready for, training camp to come in, OTAs. And he just, he's having fun. I understand.
Yeah, I understand.
Whatever you do
that.
in the off season is on you. Hey, by all means.
I'm not gonna say don't have fun,
Right.
but it's like
You gotta be careful.
You need to be careful because
You gotta understand where you're at.
yeah, especially that fentanyl thing, like that's really out there right now. Like that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
big thing with a lot of these drugs. It's being laced, and it's like you get a little whiff of that, like this is what happens.
Right.
So
It's
I
kind of
mean,
my thing is like with athletes and with drugs and stuff. Like I get it. Like you do whatever you want in the off season, but at the same time, it's kind of like you're risking your career at that point, and you're risking millions of dollars. Like his contract was about, I think 1.3. No, I'm sorry, for 2.6 for 2 years, right? And it's a lot of money. I mean, 2.6 million. I mean, no, it's not the big super max that everybody gets in the
still,
NFL.
I mean,
But that's a lot of money.
yeah.
That's a lot of money that you're risking. And the fact that you're kind of just pissing that away
Yeah.
just to go have fun for a bit.
it's like when you reach that high of a level, you really gotta understand right from wrong, and you gotta understand your decisions don't necessarily only affect you anymore; it affects everyone around you. And it's like, I get it. You want to have fun, but it's like you really gotta sometimes take a step back and be like, hey, like, is this really worth, losing possibly my contract, all my money? Like,
Right.
I'm a pro athlete. I'm gonna lose, being able to play at this level that I've always dreamed of. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you really want to lose that? Like, no. You gotta be you gotta be smart with your choices. You do.
Right.
It's just unfortunate. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he took like a bad batch, I guess, and
That's the thing with that. Like,
you gotta trust where you're getting
no
it
one,
from.
like, nothing is pure anymore. Everything has fentanyl in it.
yeah.
It's the worst thing. That's how Mac Miller was out of here.
Yeah.
Same thing. Gotta be careful with that stuff.
Yeah, it's just
Just drink a Rockstar.
Dude, like,
yeah, honestly,
honestly, bro, like, stick
you're
stick
safer with
to the green, bro. Just stick to the green.
guy.
Drink a little. Have a shot.
Yeah.
Chill out, man. Like, you don't
Works
have
out
to do all these crazy things, man. It's like you're, like, in a sense, you're a millionaire. You're a pro, like, you're a pro athlete. Like, you can do things that people don't get to do.
You get
know what I
access
mean?
to things that people don't get
Yeah,
access
it's like,
to.
why are you gonna throw that away?
Yeah. But I think that's all the time we got today. Right.
Yep.
Did we hit it right on? Hopefully we hit it right on.
Yeah, we're on that minute 5, so it's not bad.
Oh, dope.
too much editing for me.
All right. Joey, I want to thank you again.
Hey, thank you for
Round of
having me,
applause for
bro.
Joey.
Thank you guys.
Next time we have a baseball podcast, I'll definitely have you on.
Yeah,
again.
let me know.
Yeah,
This is fun.
definitely. Brandon, appreciate you like
You
always.
already know the swag.
And
Take out your towel so I can dry my clothes. Thank you.
That's my
I already
time.
took him out. I already took him out. That was his.
Okay, sorry, Joey.
But I know there's a lot of NBA news. Real quick, I know there's a lot of NBA moves going on in news. I'm gonna be on the story for the Instagram for the view at the views from the sidelines, and then I'm gonna also be on the Twitter talking about all those moves. So pay attention to those. But other than that, you guys stay safe. I'll see you guys next week and later.